I want this hype.
No.
Better
Can
not
I not be?
disappoint you.
Whoa. Can I not be happy about my signings?
Who would you say is the top transfer for Man United in this window?
Who do we have?
He ripped apart all the stats in the Premier League, and he'll be ripping apart a lot more things throughout the season. So he's
he'll
only
be
gonna
getting ripped apart.
Hey yo, what's up, Footie boy Zedayans? Is that a thing now, Footie boy Zedayans? It's not a thing.
No way. Let's start again. That's not going to be it. That better not catch on.
Gentlemen, welcome. Linka, what to do, bro?
Hey.
Mr. Sianda, what's all good there, man?
What's up, gentlemen? What's up?
Yo, welcome to the Footy Boys ZA. This is a special transfer show. We're going to be covering and unpacking some of the top transfers in the EPL for the 2020-21 season. Well, at least the first half. We know January window is still coming, but we want to deal with these summer transfers first. Gentlemen, so much has happened, so much business. Some teams got their signing, some teams didn't. Hashtag Sancho number 7. We know that one didn't go through. But listen, I know the wounds are still fresh. But Sianda, let me hear from you. You're probably the happiest out of all three of us. Let me hear some top Arsenal news from you.
Fantastic news at the Arsenal. The party is about to start. We have everybody's been complaining about Arsenal having
this
no
hype.
spine.
I want this hype.
No.
Better not disappoint you.
Whoa. Can I not be happy about my signings? On transfer deadline day signings are like a Christmas present. And it sucks as international week because now you can only have to wait till next week to open your Christmas present and play with it. But I'm excited because we've desperately needed that kind of midfielder, and we got one. You know what I mean? It's a slow build. There's a spine developing. Leno, Gabriel, Partey, Aubameyang. You know, there's some solidness going through there, and hopefully those guys can take us into the future.
So what are the implications?
Isn't Albert? I thought Albert is playing left now, bro. How is he in the spine?
It's just figuratively speaking. Because doesn't mean just because I'm saying spine doesn't mean you must play down the middle. You know what I mean?
So like what are the implications in the midfield for Arsenal? Who benches now? Who's your core midfield?
It's tough to say because Arteta, he's changing the formations a lot. Because a lot of times we're playing a 3-4-3 that kind of sometimes shifts into a 3-2-5-1 and too many different things. But I think what he's trying to try to do is somehow figure out a balance between Xhaka, Ceballos, Elneny, and Partey in that midfield. I want us to play a 3 because the 3 is obviously the most dynamic and a lot of the best teams in Europe are using that. Hopefully we can have better transition because we had probably the worst transition in football, and hopefully Partey can do that. It's good that we have a player now who can drive the ball forward because Xhaka was not athletic enough to do that. Elneny didn't have the athletic enough to do that. Even Ceballos, though he's skillful and silky, he just doesn't have the legs to kind of carry the ball from defense to attack. And Partey can do that. I mean, we saw the stats. Or at least I saw the stats, and he can definitely. That's one of the key pieces that he brings into this team.
So you don't want him shielding the defense. You want him driving the ball forward.
So this is what I was saying even before. Remember that I was saying the best signing that Arsenal has done so far was signing Mikel Arteta because if defense is a system and not so much individual, though there is individual expressions. And ever since he's come in, those same guys that everybody used to hate and abuse are now defending properly because there's a system that you can work within in the defense. You know what I mean?
No. Score down Mustafi. David
No
Luiz.
That's a World Cup
Those
winner.
guys are still
No
the
way.
same.
World Cup
Socrates.
winner. Do you
Socrates.
guys have any World Cup winners in your backline? I thought as much.
We do. Oh, not the back line. Not the back line.
Even in your team, Cranker, there's no World Cup winners in China.
Listen,
Hey, there's
who
none.
needs the World Cup winner when you have Champions League winners? The whole team.
Oh, what, dude? Oh, Champions League. Champions League, you know how many small clubs have won Champions League?
You know the Champions League is harder to win than the World Cup.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If a whole Croatia can make it to a World Cup final,
But you see, World Cup final, how many times have small teams won a World Cup? Small countries. And I can name many small teams that have won a Champions League. It's never happened. It's just the big boys. Big boys all the way. Anyway, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, so
Arteta is a guy who's going to usher us into a new era for the next 10, 15 years, build the next phase of this dynasty, and start to establish the name of him as a fortress to be not messed with in the future of Arsenal. This is going to be an interesting era for Arsenal in the future to come, and I'm really excited.
Okay, so it's clear that for Arsenal, Partey was the top signing for this window. You almost lost Gunasaurus, but Ozil stepped in at the end to save Gunasaurus. So we're happy to see your dinosaur still there. Linka, who would you say is the top transfer for Man United in this window?
Who do we have? Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek is our best signing.
Hey man, but the man's coming off the bench. What does that mean?
How old is he, Linka?
Easing into the team.
It means our midfield. He's 23. He's 23. Our midfield is packed and stacked, depending on what we want to do. Because you look at the game against Spurs, and you see how Ole changed the midfield to do damage control. He had to take out Pogba, not Pogba. Who did he take? He took out Matic and Bruno, just to establish some control over what was happening there in the midfield. So,
as a United fan,
I think it's good because here's the thing: at the end of last season, we were complaining that our players are getting tired, especially the midfield. So there'll come a time. The season is long. The games are packed together. Donny will play.
Linka, quick question: is there any truth to the fact that there was a bust up between Fernandes and Maguire at halftime during the Spurs United?
You know, I also read that like maybe 2 days after Sunday, like on Tuesday. So I don't know, man. I don't know. If it happened, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because Maguire, someone needed to tell Maguire. That guy he's always captain. He's not my captain.
He's a sub-captain. Also, one more thing. So, I mean, I heard like a lot of stuff around Sancho, but it's clear that there's need in the back. Why were people so, hyped up for Sancho when there's obviously need to be purchased in defense? Or was it is Sancho also just as much needed?
So Sancho we didn't say we're buying Sancho and we don't care about the defense. It's just that Sancho was one of the priorities. And so he's the flashy guy. He was going to be the most expensive signing. It's easy for the headlines to always have Sancho in front of them. But we did need a center back. And unfortunately, we didn't get them. But we might get Upamecano hopefully next summer. Maybe we'll get him to sign something in Jan to say he'll come. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. One last one. You said the Sancho deal didn't go through yet.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I don't know about because we then got like we on deadline day we signed two young wingers. So I don't know if we still want Sancho to come. We signed Traore and what's his name? Pelestri, Facundo Pelestri.
Like are they young?
like young, 18 and 19 or something like that. So I don't know if we're still gonna get Sancho, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, but let me say, this is what I wanted to say in the other video. It's no use bringing in a new coach and new players and all of that stuff, shuffling this whole team around if things aren't changing up top. I feel like we our organization is struggling. It's struggling, and the owners don't care. And we need a director of football at least. Like, get us a director of football who will be able to handle some of these things. But we are struggling. The coaches don't get the players they want. I don't think Ole got any of the priorities. Maybe Donny, but like the priorities that he wanted, uh, priority players, we didn't get them. So that's problematic for a coach to ask for something and then for him to get something else.
What
All
what
right.
role does Woodward play, Gandhi? Is he CEO?
He basically runs the he's almost what is it called? He's the chairperson. He's
Oh,
the chairperson. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But he wants to
seems like
function as a scout and a negotiator and a director of football.
all of this.
yeah, it seems like a lot of teams are starting to experience that challenge in modern football, where yeah, certain people in the higher ups, they want to get too involved in things that the coach or the manager should be predominantly having control over. But onto teams that know how to get the transfer business done. Liverpool's top signing, Thiago Alcantara, without a
That's
doubt.
what he is.
Isn't he the
Probably
only good signing you guys got?
no. We got key signings. We got
Jota
a
was a
left,
good
we
signing.
got a left back, Tsimikas, and then we also got Thiago Alcantara as well. And then we also got Jota up front. So it was just,
Jota doesn't even start at Wolves anymore, Michan. He didn't even start anymore.
yeah, that's because he was preparing himself to play for Liverpool.
Ah,
He didn't want to get injured. He didn't want to get injured.
even
Uh,
the end of last season, he wasn't starting. Who's
the,
that guy? He got benched by Podence.
but we've seen Podence. We've seen Podence. Anyone would take Podence right now. Podence is a jammer. Is a jammer. We cannot fight the boy. But yeah, I'd say for Liverpool, Thiago was probably our top signing. We've needed a creative player like that for a very long time. So I'm hoping he recovers from COVID, quick sticks, and we get to see more of his magic. He gave a masterclass performance when he came on against Chelsea in the second half. He ripped apart all the stats in the Premier League, and he'll be ripping apart a lot more things throughout the season. So
Oh,
he's really
he'll
going
be
to help.
getting ripped apart because this is the Premier League. This is the
Hey,
Premier
listen,
League. Do you know guys who
anything is
tackle, who kick cheetahs like that?
anything is possible, but you know what they say, class is permanent, and that will be evident with him. But enough about my team. I wanna discuss some other teams that did some top business, and I want to put Chelsea on the table as well as Everton on the table. Between those two teams, who do you think did the best business?
Hmm.
I mean, I
It's
feel
got
like there's no team that did business like Chelsea, to be honest. And I mean, let's not put money into it. Like, just in terms of getting players that should get the job done. I think Chelsea really, they went all out and they emptied their pockets and did what had to be done. I didn't hear of any transfer that they really pushed for that really like gained momentum that they didn't get. I feel like they got everyone that they really pushed for. So
so I hear you, Linka. You're absolutely right. They got definitely the personnel, but I still think they're
yeah, whether
struggling.
it'll work or not,
I
whether
still
it'll
they
work
look
or
like
not
they
is a
struggle.
different
Yeah,
thing. That's not what we're talking about right now.
yeah.
What we're talking about is the movement between clubs. As to the chemistry, once they arrive, that's a completely different thing. I do feel like they're really struggling. But I mean, Pulisic hasn't really been around, and I think he's still key to that
Mm.
team. And so part of bringing those other guys in was for him to be slotted in some way. So you get Pulisic in, you get Ziyech in, we're all forgetting about ZH.
ZH
I know he arrived in January,
Mm.
or he signed in January to arrive now, but he hasn't played. So once all those guys are together, yeah, we'll see. But Werner's worrying me, man. Werner.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's there's question marks. There's
It's
question
quick
marks.
though. He's quick though. What
Hey,
about?
did you hear what he said after he played his first game?
It's like,
It
is
was
there?
like it's not like Germany here.
What about at the back though with Chelsea with Thiago Silva and I think that's and Ben Chilwell? Do you think those are good signings at the
Mm,
back?
Yeah, no,
I think
for
so.
me, I think once Lampard gets a solid back four, which I think he's close to. I think the Chilwell, Thiago, Zoma, Aspi is a good balance for me. If he can get those guys to start consistently, then they'll have some stability. But if he's constantly chopping and changing, it'll make things tough. But yeah,
And
for
they
me,
they
the
got a
trick.
keeper as well. They got a
Yeah.
keeper
Oh
as well. So
yes, 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 yes,
yeah.
yes,
After they
yes.
spent a record fee for the keeper a few years ago. Poor man.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah. It's
But
just
yeah, I
tough.
think I think they did their best business in the window. Like I
Uh,
don't think it's close even.
yeah, and
I
then
mean, we'll have
looking.
to see because they spent 80 odd million. How much was it for Kai Havertz? And I mean, to be fair, obviously he's still new, but it's looking very, very suspect for me. Looking very suspect in the beginning of the season. And they spent
It,
a lot of money.
yeah, I think we're just gonna have to, honesty. On the one hand, we have to be fair and say, hey, team chemistry takes time, but on the one hand, the pressure is on, the eyes are on, and therefore the guys are gonna have to perform. But yeah, we'll have to see. I want to ask some quick questions about Everton. Looking at how Everton is performing now, though, do you think they made the better transfers like for the team, not just getting business over the line, but getting the type of players that will help the team play better football?
Yeah.
I think
I think that midfield is I mean, yeah, granted the opposition. I mean, they played Spurs and they won against Spurs, but granted the opposition they've been playing, they haven't been as tested as they probably will be. But Allen, Dokore, James,
Mm,
yeah,
mm, mm,
those
mm,
guys have
mm,
changed
mm.
that midfield, bro. They've changed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree
but
that a quality player like James in that midfield has changed. There is to revolutionize that Everton. Ferguson was good, but it's just another level to James. But I still think Yuri Mina and those Jitas at the back for me. I think there's still questions there for me. A lot of questions that can be asked still.
yeah, I think for me,
My question is still on the keeper.
yeah,
I
no,
can't believe
Jordan
Pickford
Pickford,
Pickford is still number one
yeah,
in England.
yeah,
Nah,
no, that man,
Who should be number one?
hmm,
Tough.
Dean Henderson.
Nick Pope. Nick
Ah,
Pope.
I was gonna say that's tough. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't feel like that's an upgrade, honestly. That's either at the same level at best or worst. Or worse.
Who?
Nick Pope or Henderson.
Nah, Nick Pope is better
nah, wait, bruh.
than
Nick Pope is
Pickford,
way
dude.
better, way, way better than Pickford.
I'm
You
trying to
forgetting
let's
who
also
Nick Pope plays behind. You forgetting who Nick Pope plays behind.
but
He
that's what
plays
I'm saying.
behind Tyrone Mings.
That's why I'm saying that sometimes
No, not
it
Tyrone
doesn't
Mings.
say
That's
Tyron
Aston
means
Villa.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's Aston
Yeah,
Villa.
that's Aston Villa.
I'm saying sometimes when you're playing in a pub team, you get tested a lot and you look good, making all those short stops and whatnot. Meanwhile, when you're now playing in a team where you have to minimize the mistakes, like Edison for Man City, and then it's all of a sudden
He
it's.
won Golden Glove though.
I'm just saying the mistake this past week that cost them 3 points.
Yeah, well, it's a tough one, but any way you cut it, for me, Pickford is just not good enough. So I think
Yeah.
yeah, we're just waiting until Everton gets to play a proper big team, and Liverpool is gonna give them the test of their lives. And I think from there we'll be able to gauge, how good the Ancelotti project is going. Quick questions on Man City. I think the biggest transfer was Ruben Dias, for ridiculous amount of
Ruben
money.
Diaz.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, another centre back signing. It seems like, Pep signs a centre back almost every single season.
And Nathan Ake
He
also.
signed Ake. He
Oh,
signed Ake
yes.
as well.
And Ake as well. In this
Nathan,
window.
yeah, Nathan Ake as well. And so, but it's tough because it looks like he fixes one part and he gets problems in one part. Because right now, the forward department as well, he doesn't have an out-and-out striker. So Raheem is having to play a false nine / striker / we don't know what's going on. But any comments on the business that Man City did?
It's just I think for me proves that splashing the cash all the time is not always the answer. Because I think one of you guys said that the injuries are charring them. But like those guys have so many players, or so many quality players, I must add, in so many different positions. I mean, Jesus is a guy who hasn't really gotten like a string of like consistent starting because like when Aguero comes back, then he's gonna chill. You know what I mean? And isn't he supposed to be a number 9 or is he a winger more? Jesus. And then also at the back, I mean, we've all heard the amount of money they spend at the back. I mean, just based off of that, it's unacceptable that they're conceding so many goals and they're having so many issues defensively because I mean it doesn't add up to spend that much money on defenders and then also not defending well, you know what I mean? And it might be an issue. Like I hear you saying injuries and whatnot, but I thought last season they said he keeps on correcting people in his name. Laporte, basically.
Laporte,
like,
yeah.
They're waiting for him to come back. They were saying that was one of the key missing pieces. Now he's back, and he's still issues. You know what I mean? Mendy on the other one, he was fire before he came to Man City. I just have not seen that player in Man City once. Maybe I have seen him once or twice actually, but not consistently enough. You know what I mean? So I think it's
I think here's the thing. I heard an interesting opinion on spending money and overspending and that kind of stuff. It's like sometimes you have to take the risk. When Liverpool signed Van Dijk, in hindsight, it looks great. It looks great.
Mhm.
But I'm sure at the time there were question marks because he's coming from Southampton and everyone is like, how are you paying how are you making him the most expensive defender in the world? Like, yes, he's good. We've seen quality, but to be the most expensive, they're expensive. They're big center backs in football. They were more Koulibaly, some of the guys that play, Bo Ramos. Now you're gonna make Van Dijk. So in hindsight, it looks good because he's performed. But sometimes you just have to take the risk, man. Like you just never know. And that's why you have flops and sometimes it works out and no one complains when it works out. The people only speak up when it doesn't work out. And I know that very well.
I wanted to say Maguire.
We should also
Oh
speak about
man,
Spurs, guys. What do you guys think about the business?
Who they Bale? They bought in Bale. They bought in who's that right back or left back? They bought in. What's his name?
Regulon.
Regulon.
regular.
He looked good. He looked good on the game. And I mean, that was the first time I saw him play for Spurs. It looked good. And Mourinho. I think also Hoblier. Oh, what a game! What a
Hobie,
game!
yeah.
He had.
Yeah.
Where was he from? From Southampton or where was he from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southampton, man, I can't believe when I think when you mentioned Van Dijk, Mane, Klein that was at Liverpool. I mean, gosh,
Don't say
imagine
Walcott. Don't say Walcott.
Walcott's got over 100 goals in the Premier League. Okay, not many guys say they can. Now it's gone back to his boyhood club. Um, but I think Spurs are looking good. I mean, Kane and Song, but I think it's the same issue that we were mentioning earlier. That I think depth might child them because up front, I think they're lacking. Besides, outside of Kane and Son, I'm not convinced by anybody else. And also, I don't know if you guys know what's going on with Dele Alli. Is he injured? Is not what's happening? He's not starting.
Nah,
It's
he's not.
Mourinho doing Mourinho things.
He's not gelling
Let's
with the
watch the
coach.
documentary to find out.
He's not gelling with the coach. I think they were trying to get him a transfer, but he's sort of fighting for his life. So if things don't go well in the next couple of weeks, he might be shipped out again. well, not again, but he might be shipped out in January and look for greener pastures. But yeah, I think it's just one of those tough ones where the coach keeps telling him you have this potential and you're not reaching it, and Daly's like, but you telling me to play something that I don't really like playing. So it's just a tough one for the kid. But yeah, for me, I think I still want to see Gareth Bale play, but at the same time, for me, that signing, on the one hand, it's nice, man. The Tottenham fans, reminisce good old days. But when you look at Bale on paper, Mans is injured half the time. How effective is he gonna be? Even once he's a starter. Is he the same Bale that he was when we saw him at Madrid? Or is he just gonna, be a coaster there? So it'll be interesting to see that one. But for me, Regulon was definitely top. I think for me, he'll probably be just after Robertson in terms of best left back in the Premier League if things go well, based off of what I saw. And that midfield is starting to look a lot more solidified. Jose loves his boys big, and that's what that midfield at the moment is looking like. Solid big boys who are going to scruff it out, and some of them can put out a decent pass as well. So we'll see how it pans out.
Like who?
Corbia, for example.
Nah, that guy's just a guy to kick guys here. No parts of it for me. Kane is the main guy. Have you seen Kane with his long passes? There's no midfielder there who can pass the ball. The Salso, suspect, all of those guys.
Listen, one guy I feel sad for is Lamela, because honestly, man, Lamela for me, he's been jamming some solid football, but there's competition now. So he won't be able to start
with Bale.
Obviously,
with Bale, Bergwijn, Mora, all those guys are better than Lamela.
Yeah. So it's just.
I think they played him because of rotation this weekend, because they played a few games this week. What about guys to look at?
Four, dude. They played four in like 7 days or something crazy like
that. What about Aston Villa, guys? I'm telling you now, watch out for Ross Barkley. Because where was he again before we went to Chelsea? Everton. It was hot there, and I think we might see a little bit of.
That's why he had a grudge against Liverpool. That's why we saw what we saw.
Oh yeah,
that man could have scored a hat trick.
Let's not talk about that.
So I think Ross Barkley. I mean, I'm not going to speak about Watkins because I mean, the jury's still out.
Why?
He had a good game. But we've known many people.
Perfect hat trick against Van Dijk and the boys.
We know a lot of guys that come out banging and then they fade away into obscurity.
That's true. Who's this? I always think about it when I think about people, and that's why Calvert-Lewin worries me so much. Yeah. When I think about guys who start off the season so well, I think of Nathan. Who's the Stephen Naismith? Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Last season, Cookie. Remember in the beginning of the season? Cookie in the beginning of the season.
So and no one bought Pookie. No one bought him during the window. So it's tough. But hoping he's a young boy, so I'm hoping he comes right. But I'm not expecting too much from Ollie Watkins, man. Nah.
Yeah, no.
But that midfield in Everton as well, it's a hard-working midfield because I don't know, maybe it was once off, but they were threading those balls, like those long balls over Liverpool. And I mean, obviously, I don't know what is happening, but it looks like some quality guys who work hard and know how to give the good passes over the top, especially. So we'll have to see. I think Aston Villa might be in a surprise package with the business they've done. But again, it's also the beginning of the season, so guys are going to fade away.
Yeah, it's still early days. We'll give it till about game week 10. Then we'll be able to get a better idea of who's who. But yeah, gents, do you guys have any other last-minute honorable mentions we should give? Rodrigo Leeds, any impact there, or do you feel like he's washed?
Not Leeds. I'm gonna leave Leeds alone. I think they'll do okay, but Rodrigo, I don't know if they're convincing me that they'll win. Like they'll enter be in the top 10. I don't know, man.
Not even top 10, bro. Sheffield finished in the top 10 in their first season, and I think this team is much better. Leeds, I mean.
They are, but I feel like when a team like Everton is doing what they're doing, then those other teams, like the cultured teams, um, they'll normally come through. But I mean, I don't know. There's Wolves, there's
Wolves bought that
Everton,
90 for
like I'm
40 million.
saying.
What's his name? Fabio Silva. 40 million or something like that, or 40 million, or it was close to. If you get, I mean, he didn't play this past weekend though, so, and he's young, he's 18, must be a superstar. Maybe Wolves is still gonna make a resurgence. Maybe it's just a slow start like the other big teams. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to wait and see. But from the Footy Boys, you can definitely tell there's a lot of action that happened in the window. The season will only tell how good or bad some of these signings will be. But yeah, comment down below. Let us know some of your thoughts. What did you like? What did you not like? Who did we miss out on? And who are you hoping to see perform well in the upcoming season based on who came in this window? But from the Footy Boys, we'd like to say peace, shout out, and goodbye. Till the next one.
Peace.
Ciao.